What's up, Drop Team? This is LR Knight here with a battle report from Feet First into Hell, which is my orbital drop combat skirmish game set in the far future. The Kickstarter campaign has probably wrapped up by the time that I post this, unless I get super industrious, and we reached more than 1,000% on that Kickstarter campaign. So I was able to raise $1,500 to put together the best possible, succinct, rapid playing, easy to learn, kick-ass sci-fi war game that I could. The whole rules fit on one sheet of paper, front and back. The rest of the booklet is missions to keep you on misadventures for years to come. So I'm really proud of the fact that I've been able to put this together. I'm super grateful for everybody who contributed. And I thought today I would showcase the first of the backer unlocked mini narrative co-op campaign, Rain Hell. So I'm going to quickly introduce my drop team for this. In Rain Hell, players have many fewer units than they typically would in Feet First into Hell. And that's because it's a bad drop. Your men are scattered. Many have died in Atmo. So you kind of have to make do with a very small drop team. So without further ado, here is my drop team. I've got Leodrin. He is an elite with a field rifle. He's the only one rocking armor. The team's named after him, so he's kind of the rock star. And he's got a bayonet. I've got Recruit A42. He's got a pistol and a med pack. I've got Recruit 0BL. He's got a pistol. Recruit A26. He's got a pistol. And then I've got a Revenant drone. Revenant drone is a soldier that died. Its brain or its consciousness is encased into one of the combat drones, so it has a slightly better rating than your typical drone. It's a narrative option for Feet First into Hell. You don't actually have to play it, but it's an option there, and I thought, hey, I'd exercise something kind of interesting. We are going to be fighting in STARFALL Protocol, the first Rain Hell mission, space bugs. So this is a 3D printed space bug that I found somewhere on the internet, and I don't have that many of them. So when I run out of space bugs, I'm going to be throwing down Games Workshop cultists, chaos cultists, to proxy for them, and I'll be using my chaos space marines to proxy for the alien hunters, the Xenos hunters. This is the kind of standard size Feet First into Hell battlefield, although you can play bigger or smaller if you want. It's of course up to you. And what I tried to do when I set this up is I tried to theme the four corners. So on this side over here, I've got some rocks and a crater. It kind of looks like maybe that's a more naturalistic corner. Up there, I've got some of my modular sci-fi urban terrain. If you want to know about how I made those cheaply, quickly, and efficiently, you can check out my video on how to make them. It's quick, cheap, and it fills an entire board with good-looking urban terrain. In the center, I've got some industrial stuff out of one of my old Kill Team kits. Up here in Quadrant 1, I've got what kind of looks like temple ruins. And then down here, it's kind of sparse, which is going to be kind of a deadly battle zone. So that's my battlefield for STARFALL Protocol, the first Feet First into Hell, Rain Hell mission. A couple other little features of the board. I'll try to zoom in if I can without being too disastrous. There we go. That token right there and down here, those represent where other drop pods have crashed, and they're going to be resupplies for my characters. So the objective of this mission, and here are two more. There's 4 on the board right now. The objective of this mission is going to be to recover those and get out before my guys die. Because the enemy, the space bugs, the Xenos, are going to be able to refresh every turn, and so I'm eventually going to be overwhelmed if I wait too long. Now the catch here is I can actually add 2 more tokens, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to roll these live. I rolled a 3. A 3 is quadrant 3, so it's going to fall somewhere into this quadrant following the drop scatter penalty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. I think I want it to fall right there. So that is another resupply token, and I'll roll for the other one. I rolled a 5, and 5 is right dead smack in the center, so So I now have 6 resupply tokens that I can grab on this fairly cluttered board. But the clutter is good because it's going to break up gun lines. It's going to make sure that the enemy can't just swarm in straight lines at me. That's kind of what I want. So that's it for the setup on Feet First into Hell. It took me 7 minutes and 3 seconds, as you can see here on your screen, to actually get my team set up because the rules are condensed onto one page. It took me about 5 minutes to set the board up in a way that I thought was visually appealing and would be fun for gameplay. So with that said, no more wasting time. Let's get right into Rain Hell Mission 1, Starfall Protocol. So, our mission briefing. You knew it was bad when the redhead from NavSec cut off abruptly, but it got worse when you started seeing other DBVs go up like fluorescent popcorn, and the whole damn sky lit up with tracer fire. No one heard your bloody screams as you dropped like a brick towards Ilium 9. It was a hot drop and a hard landing, and when you came to, your gear was gone, and your coordinates are worthless. Figure it out. That's your job now. So that's the mission briefing for Starfall Protocol, the very first Rain Hell mission. I've already set the board up with about 20 pieces of terrain. I don't need to bother with initiative because I'm the only person playing this time. And I've already scattered my supply caches. So in those supply caches, these pods that I dropped, I could find field rifles, med packs, shotguns, neurostims, or even recruits with pistols, which would be great because I only have 5 units on my drop team, so I've got really stiff competition here. For deployment, this drop is true chaos. You've fallen in an uncontrolled burn directly into enemy territory. I'm going to begin the game by deploying enemies first. So that's going to be 8 swarmers, which immediately I'm going to run out of them. I'm going to deploy 8 swarmers and 3 alien hunters by rolling d6s and consulting the drop zone table on the very first rule sheet. So this guy's going into quadrant 1. This guy's going into quadrant 4. That guy is going to re-roll on a 6. He's going into the center. This one's going to quadrant 3. It's not a bad spread. Quadrant 2. And last one, quadrant 1. So when I did the last battle report with this mission using one of the beta versions of it, they were all in the center. It was pretty awful. So okay, now I'm too short, so out come the Chaos Cultists, which it actually narratively makes sense because human units can be turned into Xenos. Reroll 6s. Human units can be turned into Xenos by the alien hunters. Speaking of which, here come 3 of my Chaos Marines. I play World Eaters on the side. I have a World Eaters kill team and a small World Eaters 40k army, but whatever, I'm not here to advertise their game. So alien hunter goes there. This is 5. I'm going to put them on the north end. And another 1. Uh-oh. 1 is looking like it might be a deadly area. So I've got all of my enemies are now deployed. I did that live so you can see just how quickly it goes. And now it's my turn. I have to roll individually for all of Leodrin's Lions that are going to be deploying on this catastrophic drop. And I re-roll on 6s because this is simulating the typical 6 roll on a deployment zone drop. So, of course, right away. Okay, Leodrin is dropping into zone 5. So, uncontrolled drop. Ah! Boom. I'm going to land him. He can't land within 6 inches of this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there you go. Drop scatter penalty. Leodrin has deployed almost on the very corner of the board. Next one. We are dropping A42, my recruit. A42 is dropping into quadrant 2, so he's going to be up here at the top. So anywhere in here, I'm thinking, give myself a little bit of a stealth advantage here, going up top. 1, uh-oh. This is for OBL. This is the guy who was doomed before, too. Boy, where do I want to put him? I guess I'm going to drop him here. Give me a couple options for maybe taking out some of these Xenos. Quadrant 4 for recruit A26. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that where Landrin deployed to? Oh, okay. He can't deploy within 6 inches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dropping him right there. So Landrin has a little bit of backup. That's probably going to be my power couple for the game. And for the Revenant drone, quadrant 3. Okay, everybody has dropped in. So that was the drop phase for Unit 1. We are good to play. So every Feet First into Hell game has 3 key phases in each round. Drop phase, which we just did. And then we have the engagement phase, which is alternating activation. And finally, a courage phase, which only occurs if half of your entire team is dead, downed, or terrified, which are conditions that you can see in my basic training videos. So, all right, a swarm unit moves first. So the first thing that I do is check to see, is there a swarm unit that can see and attack? Because I have my Xenos AI system right here. This is everything I need to know in order to solo play. So was an eligible Xenos unit previously attacked? No. Is a player unit downed within 1 inch? No. Are there any eligible Xenos units able to move, shoot, or fight a player unit? Yes. So I'm going to start over here for simplicity. I'm going to zoom in so we get a better angle of the combat here. And I can even tilt this because I set it up right. So this Xenos can move 8 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can't move. He can't attack without moving. So he's going to move into attack range. And he's going to attack my poor Revenant drone. And it doesn't really matter for Feet First into Hell if you are facing, like, direction of the unit doesn't particularly matter, although I prefer for cinematic reasons to make it move. So let's see. I hit on 6s. My rating is a 6 because he's just a swarmer. They're dangerous in numbers. They're not so dangerous on their own. He rolled a 3 and a 2, and he completely fails. Now the flip side, and this is where Feet First into Hell gets really interesting, is I can react with this guy, which is what I'm going to do right now. So he is going to fire in reaction to that attack his pistol, point blank. And he hits on 3s, so I'm going to deal 1 solitary point of damage. And we're back. So I've got my tokens down. He's taken 1 wound, he has reacted, and he has acted. Those tokens are not necessary to play, but once you get a lot of models on the board, they are pretty handy. If you want to download the tokens for yourself, there will be a link to a Google Drive folder where they are provided free of charge for anybody, whether or not you buy the game. I just thought they'd be cool to have, and some playtesters asked for them, and hell, I have the means and the capabilities, so I did it. Anyway, that's that combat resolved on this guy's behalf. So now he is going to activate, because it makes sense to logically take care of things one at a time. So I'm going to put down my activation token, just to indicate that he has, in fact, about to do something, and he is about to take 2 shots. But first, I want to focus him. So focusing is an action that allows me to re-roll a 1, or to re-roll the lowest score, rather, when I roll. So I really want 2 hits. I got 2 hits. The focus was unnecessary. It's going to kill him. I'm going to take him out of play so I can use him again later on for the reinforcement rolls. And now this corner is kind of cleared out. The Revenant drone is looking okay. So, I should have determined my exit vector before I started. I'm going to determine my exit vector to be the bottom edge of the board here. So if any of my units escape over this edge, they are considered to have survived. Because the point of this mission is to grab resupplies and get the hell out as quickly as possible. So now I'm going to move to the next eligible Xenos unit that can see one of my characters. And that, to me, is going to be this one, this scenario here. So let me adjust the camera. So this guy is the next closest. According to my AI logic system, he now activates because my characters have activated. Okay, so now I'm going to move him in. He's going to attack this guy because he's the closest. He makes 2 swiping attacks with his bladed limbs, and he rolled a 6, which is a hit. And I'm very concerned about unit death. So before I apply that hit, my character is going to attempt to dive. Diving is a reaction that is done before the application. He succeeds. He's going to move 1-2 inches away, which puts him out of this guy's range, and it nullifies that hit. So now using my tokens again. I have to get into the habit of this because I've been play testing without them. He has acted, he has reacted, he has acted, and I'm going to have him move once, and I'm going to use my other action to raid that storage container, and he got a shotgun. Oh boy. All right. So I need to just mark that really quickly. That is my yellow character. That was unit 0BL, recruit 0BL. He's got a shotgun. That's pretty solid. That's 2d6, but it does 2 damage. It's got 6 inches range, and it's 3 damage within 3 inches, because when you're closer to a shotgun, it does more damage. That's how guns work. So now he's acted, and reacted. Leodrin cannot activate yet, although he's gonna soon. And I have to look for the next character that is close, the next Xenos that is close. And that's gonna be up here. You can't see it because it's on the other side of the industrial stuff. So let's flip the camera angle again. Dramatic camera angle. So it might be a little bit hard to see with how flat the camera screen is, but this guy is just within range, I think, of activating to attack him. So if he drops down here, which is a free action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's just close enough to scuttle this way, and he's going to move in to attack unit, oh, that wasn't 0BL. That was supposed to be 826. Whatever, he's going to move in to attack 0BL. So again, it's 2 rolls, and he misses, and 0BL, seeing that, is going to react with his pistol, and he's going to make 1 successful hit. So I'm going to lay down my tokens. He's done his reaction, and he has acted. Pretty quick, right? Now 0BL is going to activate properly. He's going to fire his pistol. He only does the 1. He's going to focus. There we go. Okay, so he deals 2 more wounds, but this guy only has 3 anyway, so I'm going to remove him to the edge of the board. I'm going to pull back my tokens. Okay, he has acted and he has reacted. I shouldn't have pulled that one. Okay, so he focused and fired. So I've got a couple of guys that are clear-ish right now. That, however, is going to make it the next closest enemy's turn, which I think is still that guy. So he can only move 5 inches. I'm going to pull that for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe that puts him just in range to spit his acid at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's see. Here's one of my, this is my custom ruler. Yeah, I'm well within range if I don't count by hexes. Okay. All right. So he's going to roll 1d6. He only hits on 3s. And I rolled into the crater. Oh, he misses. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take an accidental miss. It's definitely not the end of the world. Okay, now it's our turn to activate. So camera flip back to Leodrin. Leodrin is a power armored monster. So he is going to be trying to kill him because I want as few of these guys on the board as possible. So he is going to use his field rifle, and he's going to take 3 shots. He's focusing first, and then he's going to take 3 shots. So 1, 2, 3. I can re-roll the lowest, which is that one. It didn't help. I do 2 damage. I nearly kill that guy, but not quite enough, unfortunately. All right, so Leodrin has acted. That leaves just a few more enemies on the board to activate. These guys, I don't think that these knuckleheads can really realistically see my character back there. So I'm going to choose to leave them until he does something. And that leaves this guy, who I'm going to check to see if he's close enough to attack my Revenant drum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's not even inside the noticing range. So I'm going to leave him. He's not even going to activate. So basically, he's just going to focus. Well, yeah, he's going to focus. So that gives me the onus here to move this character. And I'm going to move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no, I'm going to leave him in cover. And I'm going to shoot at this character. It's a little bit hard to see on that angle, but if he were to be peering through that door, he'd have a clear view of that guy's back. So he's going to fire 3 field rifle shots right at that guy. 1, 2 spectacular hits. It's not too bad as long as he doesn't get heavily reinforced. He's got 2 wounds on him. And now this guy will activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's going to try to run back to get him. And I'm in partial cover, so he's going to have to discard the lowest successful hit, which he missed anyway. I rolled a fat 1. And the other one is now alerted, so he's going to move 4, 5, 6. He's going to try and jam in there in the doorway. I'm going to lose my cover advantage, but that's okay because I have my reaction still. And I'm rolling. I rolled 2 failures. And in response, my character is going to react with his retaliations. And I hit once on a 6. So that guy is surprisingly deadly back there. And that's it for the engagement phase. Nobody else can activate or do anything because they're outside of the game's notice. So let's do, we'll pull tokens and then we'll do the second drop phase. The drop phase is where Starfall Protocol gets really dangerous. So every game during the drop phase, I roll a d6 and I add that number of swarmers to the board. If I roll a 6, I add 2 hunters instead. So I rolled 4, so there are 4 swarmers that will be added to the board this round. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to roll individually on their drop zones. So I got to re-roll 6s. Okay, so I've got 3 that are going to be added to quadrant 4. That's 2 that are going to be added to quadrant 4. That's over here by Leodrin. So they get added to the corner. Right there. And I'm going to have 1 guy who tunnels up in the center. Right there. And I've got 1 who's going to show up in quadrant 3 over here. So there you go. That was my drop roll. So now for all the enemies that I was able to take out, there are now 2 more, which isn't great. So I need to keep the momentum up on being deadly. I was really hoping that this corner would not get reinforced so that Leodrin could get up there and try and help A26 or A42, but it's not happening. So do I have 2 characters named A something? I do. That's funny. That was unintentional. So my drop team's unit names almost spell 420 Blaze It. I don't know why I did that. I just thought it was funny at the time. So Swarm always acts first. The first thing that I have to figure out is there a unit that was previously attacked? That's the first part of the AI thing. And I do. He's up there. So we're going to start right in there. That space bug is going to make bladed limb attacks against my character, who you can't really see because of the wall. And he rolls a 6. So he rolls 1 success and 1 failure. I think I'm going to take that on the chin and use his reaction to fire back. So let me mark my data card. That was for unit A42. He's down to 1 shield, but he still has 2 wounds. And he's going to shoot back in return. I've got 3. I only hit on 6s. I don't get anything, which sucks. But now it's my turn to activate. So I'm going to activate him. I'm going to activate A26 officially. And I'm going to fire right into this thing's face. I'm going to fire the shots 1 at a time, though. So 1 fails. 2, that's a success. 3, that's a success. Okay, I kill him. I get him out of there. It's not really the ideal situation, but it does give me the chance to recover with my second action during this turn. So I'm going to get that extra shield point back. 2 shields. Okay, moving on. So now the next one, I'm going to continue that combat up there because he was also previously attacked by A42. So now he's going to move in. This time I cannot react. My character has already acted and reacted, so I just have to take what happens on the chin. And he rolls 1 success, so I lose that shield point I just recovered. And that might sound frustrating, but it's not. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? The shield mechanics are basically temporary hit points. It's a little spooky though. Now it's my turn to activate a character, and I'm a little torn between wanting to activate my Revenant drone and getting him in there to grab some stuff, but I really think this could be more fun. So we're going to activate Leodrin, and Leodrin is going to... Oh boy, I have a couple options here, don't I? I guess I'm gonna fire here. I'm gonna fire my shots one at a time with my field rifle. So that's a hit. 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. I kill this guy right away. And then I have my second action. My second action is going to be to move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moving him 6 because mobility is going to become very important. I want to get away from this guy if possible. Although 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, actually, I'm going to move Leodrin right here because I'd rather him tank the hits than the other guy. Okay, speaking of which other guy, we have him, and he's going to come rushing in at Leodrin now. So let me throw a token down. So he's at 2 wounds. That's important to remember. Leodrin has acted as well. And you have acted. Okay, so he is going to make his 2 pincer attacks against me. He did roll a success, which is kind of a bummer. Leodrin is going to look at him, laugh, and stab it back with his bayonet to try and parry. And he, no, not to parry, to parry. So yeah, okay, so I was able to cancel that. Sorry, I got 1 step ahead of myself. So when you parry, you're able to stop 1 success by making a might check. Leodrin's might is a 2, which means I succeed on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s. So he does no damage, and that whole thing is just negated. So look at that. I used all 3 reactions in 1 game already. We're moving. Okay. Now they have acted. It is my turn to activate. I still have this unit, so I think let's move him. We're going to move him here and try and recover that. 5. I think a 5 might be a neurostem. Nope, it's a field rifle and a med pack. That's actually not a bad thing. Okay, so Revenant drone now has a field rifle, which is 3d6. They do 1 damage, and it's a 12-inch range. And he's got a med pack. That's an underrated item for sure. So that is his action. And I'm going to pull that token so that it's not confusing. And there we go. Okay, now they're going to activate. So I think before we do anything else, let's resolve this corner just like we did with quadrant 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. He's going to be able to get in there, and he'll be able to attack Leodrin. And Leodrin did already react, but this guy fails to do anything. I haven't run into the point where the swarmers start to activate one another yet, but next turn I'm thinking that might happen. So we might have some problems. So okay, now it is my turn to activate my last unit on the board. Thankfully, he survived more than 1 turn. I think tactically I have to give that pod up. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. So we're going to double move him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're double moving him because I moved right off the screen. It's more important to keep him alive than it is to keep him to kill the enemies, because I'm really trying to preserve my team through this game. So, all right, now there were alerted enemies. So this guy knows. He saw him. He was coming for him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy is going to know that something's up. We're going to move him to here. 5. We'll move that guy right there. I fudged his movement slightly so I can see him from where I'm standing. But I fudged it in his favor, not mine. Okay, now we've got to deal with the enemies encroaching on Revenant Drone. So there are two. They are about equidistant, so I'm going to start here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to make an acid spit at me. He's going to fail, and Revenant Drone is not going to shoot back yet. I'm going to preserve that reaction for a hot minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he's going to do the same thing, and he's going to hit. So this time, Revenant Drone is going to attempt to dive, and he fails and just has to take it on the chin. Okay, bummer. My goal was to dive towards that pod, but whatever. Okay, he's down to 2 shields. That's not great. That's actually a little spooky for Revenant Drone. So, okay, that's it. Everybody at this point who should have has moved. There are these enemies, but they're really too far from anything at this stage. I guess at least until Leodrin and Revenant Drone converge on it. I don't know if we're going to be that brave. But I do need supplies. Okay. That is everybody. So I'm going to pull tokens, and we'll start drop phase number 3.